take.
You look at Philly's record, and you look at their upcoming schedule. They have the Vikings this week, and then the next week they have the Cowboys, and then the week after that they have the Giants.
G-Man.
Week after that the Falcons.
Yeah.
Week after that the Seahawks. Week after that the Packers. Week after that the Bengals. Week after that the Redskins.
Well, they got a rookie quarterback.
That's a tough schedule.
It's a tough schedule.
That is a tough schedule.
If you can get through these lumps, you battle test.
Yeah.
All right.
That's true.
So,
even if you don't make the playoffs, at least you go through it.
You go through it.
Yeah.
That's right. We got the New York Football Giants with a W over Baltimore.
They did get the W.
All right. Odell Beckham Jr.
Hey, he broke out.
We'll talk about the good and the bad.
Okay.
All right. 8 receptions.
Jekyll and Hyde.
222 yards. Got the 15-yard penalty, taking his helmet off in the end zone there.
Yeah.
Eli said he's tired of it, man.
Eli did say that. And I applaud Eli for speaking his mind.
I don't know if he said that to Odell. But
here's the thing. He said it to the media.
He said it to the media.
He said it to the media,
to his
and
face.
Everyone knows that's going to get back to Odell.
Oh, of course. I mean, it's going to get back to him, but it's a different
so
tone.
He's saying that to him in a roundabout way. Odell is not answering questions about getting married to the net.
Bro, Odell.
He's
Odell
answering questions now about your quarterback and saying, "Cut it out."
And if your quarterback is directly responsible for your success,
right,
as a wide receiver,
absolutely.
I don't know any wide receiver. I know they get frustrated at their quarterback.
Right.
I know Michael Irvin, he used to say, I get frustrated as heck sometimes, but there's one thing I won't do.
Right.
And that's go at my quarterback.
Absolutely.
Because he is directly responsible for my success.
Right.
So, it's going to be, it'll be interesting going forward. I mean, I think they'll get over this. I think Odell's talent is worth having on the team, is worth going through this with.
When you're winning.
I mean, even when you're losing, you know what he can bring to the table.
Yeah, I think it starts to wear on you. It starts to wear on you. Because here's the thing. Terrell Owens would do some of the same antics, some of the same things, and they were winning. Remember, they went to the Super Bowl.
Right. And Terrell was great everywhere
he starts
he
to
went.
grate on the team, though. Because
maybe.
you have those personalities that say, you know what, that's great. You do what you want to do,
right,
and you be flamboyant. You do whatever it is that you want to do. It entertains the fans. Mm-hmm. And then there's other guys that's like, dude, can we just play football?
Well, I think,
and you have that in the locker room.
These younger guys coming in, they realize more and more what we already know.
Right.
That this is an entertainment sport.
Right.
Okay. I get you get out there on the field and play.
Right.
And that should be entertainment value enough.
Mm-hmm.
But the antics and all of that, I think they realize it's an entertainment sport. And I think this, we're talking about him. Not because he had a record, he had a career day.
Right.
It's because of what he did on the sideline.
Absolutely.
And he's still gonna dominate some headlines.
He is.
So when you talk about
but he's also
value,
in New York. He's also in New York, and pretty much whatever you do in New York,
it's gonna make headlines for sure.
And not to minimize what he did. I mean, look, the guy had 222 yards receiving.
He did fumble the ball.
Every time you looked up, he had a long run.
Yeah.
I
mean, the dude is quick.
Like, you're not lying. The thing is, I mean, again, 17 carries for 38 yards. No rushing attack.
None.
How far is that going to get you in the fall and the winter?
It's not going to get you too far. And, that's the pressure that's put on an Eli Manning, 2-time Super Bowl champion. And you force him to deal with that no running attack, and really, 403 yards. He had 2 picks. Right. He was slinging that rock, man.
Right.
But like you said, you're not going to be able to get away with that, especially going into the colder months, especially up in New York.
Right.
And especially against tougher teams.
So let me ask you this: let's switch it up just a little bit. 2 teams. All right. The Cowboys will get back Darren McFadden. We were talking about this the other day. Mm-hmm. His value. Here you clearly have two teams that could use a running back. Now, Darren McFadden is not Darren McFadden from old. He did get 1,000 yards behind that line last year, 4th leading rusher last year.
Yeah, but everybody has. So what does that say about Darren McFadden?
But here's the thing. Would you, if you're the Giants, try to get Darren McFadden?
No.
Who do you have to run the ball?
I mean, if I get a I'm not going to let somebody in my division take advantage of me like that.
Okay, but here's the thing. It's
because that's what you're talking about.
It's not taking advantage. How?
Oh, give me a break.
You need a running back.
All right, if we in fantasy football,
right,
and I offer you Darren McFadden,
yeah,
you ain't taking him
to be a starter on my team. If I got Jay Taylor and I got Derek, in the backfield, yeah, I'm taking that dude. Okay.
You ain't taking him. I know you ain't taking him.
Now, if I got Ezekiel, Elliott, or Adrian Peterson, no, I mean, I don't need them. You can, but look at who they have. Rashad Jennings, Bobby Rainey, Paul Perkins.
I get it. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, because to be quite honest, that's the only way that they're going to be able to keep up this pace going forward.
But you may be able to put anybody behind that Giants offensive line and they still won't be productive. That's the problem. Just like you can put anybody behind the Dallas Cowboys line.
But here's the thing.
It's productive.
What you have is Victor Cruz, Odell Beckham, Sterling Shepard. You have wideouts that you have to account for playing against the Giants. But with no running game, you can commit however guys to the rush. I mean, they only ran it 17 times.
Yeah. I mean, they're just not
That means
it.
I can throw 7 guys back in coverage.
Right. They're just not running the ball.
Yeah.
You look at, Baltimore ran the ball 26 times.
Right.
So they're just not running the ball. So I don't necessarily know if they're just not committed to it.
Yeah.
So, and that lowers his value, a trade like that lowers their value anyway. We're not in the market for a running back.
Right.
We like what we got going here. As average as it may be.
Right.
We like it.
Which it is.
Yeah, for sure.
It's below average.
Yeah.
So, I think at this part of the show, we jump into your boys, Carolina.
Yeah.
I look, I understand. I've been there. Not necessarily like this right after a Super Bowl. I can't say that my team's ever been 1-5 after a Super Bowl. Right. So I don't know exactly what you're going through. But my team has been 1-5 before.
Yeah.
And with high hopes on going to the playoffs.
Right.
What are you thinking right now?
High hopes coming into the season.
Next question.
Yeah, next question. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking next question. High hopes coming into the season.
Right.
And you lose three games, in the Atlanta game, you try to mount a comeback. We know what happened, Cam being out in the Tampa Bay game, and then this New Orleans game. You look at the game starting off down 21-0 in the first quarter. You begin to realize at that point that this defense is a shell of itself.
Absolutely.
From last year. And, just to start on the defense real quick. I know the only name we hear is Josh Norman.
Okay.
But, let's go back.
Because he's the only one that's really changed from the face of the defense.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Well, let's go back to the year.
Okay.
We had Charles Tillman. Opposite Josh Norman.
Right.
Charles Tillman was a pretty good cornerback.
He was.
I don't know where he ranks up there as far as cornerbacks go, but he's pretty good.
Solid.
A veteran.
Absolutely. Played in big games before. Yeah.
He
was on that Super Bowl team in 2006.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
A little older, but hey, he knows what he's doing back there.
He knows what he's looking at.
He can compensate for what he sees.
Roman Harper?
Yeah. Veteran.
Super Bowl.
Back with New Orleans.
Yeah.
Okay. And then of course Josh Norman.
Right.
And Ben Wickery, but he broke his leg last year, so he didn't play as much. You had Cortland Finnegan there for a couple games down the stretch when
they were trying to make
Tillman
that run
went
for
down.
the Super Bowl. Right.
When Tillman went down.
Absolutely.
So you had a true veteran secondary.
Absolutely.
All right. Josh Norman, obviously the most talented of that set.
Yes.
Okay.
By far.
You get rid of all of them.
Everybody. Yes, sir.
I mean, Peanut, he retired.
Yeah.
Cortland, I think he's still out there.
Antics.
Harper's back in New Orleans, and Norman obviously in Washington.
And they got rid of Ben Wickery, right?
And we got rid of Ben Wickery after
it was his fault. 300 yards.
After he was
all his fault.
Yeah.
Every
so
last yard.
And then you replace him with all rookies.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the secondary showed me from last year to this year. Obviously, the personnel change is. I'm thinking it maybe exposed the front seven more than the secondary being exposed. I'm thinking that secondary, a pretty good secondary, I think, gave that front seven a little bit more time to get in the backfield and get pressure. Okay? Because not much has changed on the front seven.
No.
They're not getting any pressure whatsoever. So, obviously, the secondary is depleted. A lot different. The front seven's the same. You would expect them to get some pressure, but, when you look at the secondary and the passes that are going to them, these guys are wide open.
Yeah, they are. They're not even in the screen half of the time.
And in a zone defense, you need a lot of nonverbal communication, and you guys need to be on the same page and in sync. And that's just not happening. And that's just from lack of experience.
Right.
Pure and simple. Switch back over to the offense.
Okay. Reigning NFL MVP.
One man, right? Cam. Okay.
Yeah.
Cam obviously had, you go ahead and put it out there. Cam had a not so great press conference. He answered a few questions.
And not so much.
He answered a few questions. And then he left. Okay.
Abruptly.
Cam is a known sore loser. Known for a fact. They brought people in to try to correct that. It's not going to happen. This is Cam Newton.
Right.
We didn't see him lose a lot in college. You saw him lose even when he was having good games.
Right.
His first years in Carolina, you saw this.
Yeah.
Okay. He would have an outstanding game. We still lose.
Right.
And you saw him over there slumped over.
Yeah.
So I don't expect anything to change with Cam. So me personally, I'm not going to keep harping on him about that. Here's
a problem. He's the face of the franchise.
Face of the franchise.
If I'm a rookie, I come in MVP. This is the guy I look up to. And if he acts that way with the media, what do you think I'm going to do?
Well,
when I have a bad game.
The funny thing, you would think that if they wanted him to act better with the media, that would come from the top.
It should.
It should.
And could we possibly say with the GM? Because, let's be honest.
Have you seen how Ron Rivera is with the media?
Cam played well, right?
Have you seen how Ron Rivera is with the media?
Yeah.
He's a little chippy.
Yeah, he's chippy.
He's cut people off.
Right.
And look, I'm not going to talk about that.
Absolutely.
We're done with that.
It trickles down.
It trickles down.
From Cam.
Okay. So this is allowed
right
in the organization.
Unfortunately.
All right.
And it's going to fester. It's going to fester until something just really goes wrong with that organization.
Or until they win.
Here's the thing. Understandably, Cam is a sore loser.
Absolutely.
All right. The questions that people are asking, Cam has to deal with the defense. Okay.
We just got to find ways to win football
That
games.
GM should be up there answering those questions.
We just got to find ways to win football games.
Here's the thing. That GM is the GM that made an offer to Josh Norman and then rescinded it.
Right.
Okay. They're trying to play money ball.
They are
with the defense.
Well, the GM came in with a slash and burn philosophy.
Right.
Okay. And that, Marty Herney, the previous GM, he had us up against the cap every year. And there, we didn't really see much room for growth.
Right.
You come in, you bring in our current GM. I won't even mention his name. He gets rid of D'Angelo Williams.
Yeah.
Steve Smith.
Yeah.
All right. Two great players.
Right.
Okay. Disagree with.
They may go in the Ring of Fame there
absolutely.
in Charlotte.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. D'Angelo Williams having a great 2 years. With Pittsburgh.
Absolutely.
Steve Smith still doing his thing.
It makes you wonder why you got rid of both of them.
Steve Smith